The Power Breakfast, 6 to 10 a.m.
Right here on your one and only station.
Power FM. The Queens of Breakfast, 6 to 10 a.m.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of Power FM or the presenter.
Voice of the People is a dynamic and interactive radio phoning show that gives listeners a platform to voice their opinions on current affairs, social issues, and community concerns. With engaging discussions, expert insights, real-time audience participation. Voice of the People.
Welcome to Voice of the People right here on Power FM and also on the Power Breakfast Show with Shekinah and Fortrace. And in studio with us, we do have Mr. Robert Chansa, who is a Zambian politician and community leader who is currently serving as the president for the Restoration and Development Congress, also known as RDC. But he's also the chairperson of the United Kwacha Alliance, also known as UKA, which is a coalition of opposition parties. He's quite known for his commitment to inclusive politics and grassroots mobilization. Mr. Chansa has been at the forefront of efforts to strengthen opposition unity, broaden civic participation, and advocate for the needs of marginalized groups. He has also expressed keen interest in advancing development priorities in Mandevu constituency, one of Lusaka's largest and most dynamic constituencies. And once again, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Shekinah. Thank you very much, Forty. And greetings to all our listeners and viewers out there.
All right. Now, Mr. Robert Chansa, let's dive into it. In case there's somebody right now who's hearing for RDC for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about your party?
Okay, thank you very much.
And your mandate before you dive into that question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Forty. My name's Robert Chansa, the youngest president currently for Revamp for Development Change Party, RDC. And why RDC came into existence, it's because you and me will agree that we the youths, we've been marginalized for a long time in order to be part of developing this nation. And then we all know that the youths were used as conduits of violence, and they have just been there to be tools to usher in leaders. So as Revamp for Development Change Party, RDC, it is a party that is mostly led by young leadership, and we came to form this party because we felt that it is very important that we, the youths, we should be part of administrating this country and making sure that we also contribute to the development of this country. We all know that this country, the majority are the young people and the women. But these two groups, they've been marginalized to be part of developing this country. So this is why we formed this political party, to make sure that we create the space for the young leadership and the women out there. And what is our mandate as RDC? RDC believes that we, the young leadership, we are the ones who have got the vast knowledge to contribute in developing this country. And we are the ones who are linked now in terms of knowing on what challenges we can wake up on for us, the young people, to help ourselves and the problems that we are going through. So we came and thought that we should be part of, we should be part to take part in participating in elections, so that we should also bring the policies that we believe in, more like revamping agriculture and industrialization. And also when we talk about the minerals that we have in this country, we are not harnessing it to the best interest of the country and the majority, who are the youth. So we thought of coming in, and then we bring also good policy ideas that can contribute to develop this country.
And well, I would say for some who would like to be part of the conversation, it's as easy as you calling us up on 0955 997 997 or on 0979 192 485 or on 0961 690 487. And now going on to I'd say a different direction, and that is, what would you say have been some of your major strides as RDCs, especially first of all when looking at strengthening party structures, but also influencing national political conversation? What strides has RDC made?
Thank you very much, Shekinah, for that good question. RDC, I think at this moment we have influenced a lot of young people to come on board and to make sure that they voice out, and then they should also demand their right, that they should be adopted to stand as councillors, mayors, and members of parliament, because Zambia has lacked the grooming spirit. It only had taken Dr. Kenneth Kaunda and Michael Chirufesata to have groomed some of the young people that we now have who are serving in parliament and at government, at national level in government. And this spirit has not been backed on and pushed to a latter where it should influence more of the young people. So RDC has been on the ground, and we have influenced more of the young people to come and understand that they are the leaders of today, not for tomorrow, because at the end of the day, they have to be there to get to be exposed and have the experience. By the time that our parents, our leaders who are above us are retiring, we need to take over. So this is what the party has done, and a lot of young people and a lot of young women, they've come on board, and they really want to participate in these elections that we have. And then we have also championed, these two groups, they have been marginalized in terms of the political perspective. Politics have been commercialized by our leaders who have been there for a long time, and then they have made it as if it's a business, and then they have been differentializing young people to be adopted and to be part of participating in the elections, because they have lacked resources. They have lacked resources that can help them, that they come in and participate for election. So we have been there sensitizing the young people that it shouldn't take one to have resources, but it should take one who has got the leadership skills and the knowledge that one can contribute in the community to make sure that we alleviate the high poverty levels that are in the communities. And then it's good that we've contributed a lot, and young people have come on board and to understand that it's not that they should have money for them to seek for public office, but it's just to have the zeal and the strength and the wisdom to make sure that we come and do one or two things for the common people out there in the communities.
Do you feel this current government is doing enough for the young people?
At the moment, I think the UPND government have neglected what they had promised the young people in terms of making sure that the young people are empowered. We have seen while they were in opposition, they promised to make sure that they uplift the standard living of the young people, to make sure that young people are empowered in different sectors in terms of running businesses, owning maybe businesses, having shares in different sectors where they were promised, in mining issues. But these are the problems that we are having because they were neglected and they haven't been supported the way they are supposed to be supported.
Well, I would believe they would beg to differ with them issuing artisanal mining licenses, that is predominantly to the young people as they're trying to broaden the livelihood. Like you earlier on alluded to, like a lot of young people are facing those types of challenges, especially when it comes to the cost of living, which is kind of very high. Don't you think they have maybe prioritized the mining sector as a way to also help the young people in the country?
40. If they had done that, we couldn't have these evidences where young people are being shot. Recently, we have seen how these mining issues, problems that they have brought to this country. It's because the UPND, when they came in power, they did not plan and they did not put a good strategic to make sure that they bring young people to be trained into mining, in mining sector, and then also to be assisted with licenses. This is why we are seeing a lot of illegal mining by the young people. It's because they have not been prioritized. If they were prioritized, we couldn't have had even incidences where we have lost the young people in illegal mining. We couldn't have had the incidences where young people are engaging into illicit activities of getting into illegal mining, because they could have been doing it under law, where they are supported by the government, they are given, they are trained how to mine, and they are given licenses. By this time, we could have had big young people as big businesses in the mining sector.
Now, taking a different turn, I would say within May, we did get to have a press briefing where you were introduced as the chairperson for UKA. What state did you find it then in May? And especially if you compare it to now, where we're in September, what's the difference since then?
The difference that is now there is we are growing United Kwacha Alliance. And then at the moment, United Kwacha Alliance has grown, and the young people, as I'm stating now, they have come on board, and they are part of that alliance. Before I came to assume the office of the chairperson, we have also alluded here how young people are not given that space. There was no space that we could see young people taking up positions in United Kwacha Alliance. But this time we have got more young 21, 22, 25, 28. They are there in United Kwacha Alliance in positions, in big positions that are even, helping to influence others to come on board. And this is the greatest achievement that we've done, unlike the way it was before I assumed the chairmanship. Where we had our former chairperson, Mr. Sakala Scotta, and we could see rarely young people coming on board wanting to be part of the alliance. But this time the alliance has grown, in which even when we go in the communities, you get to interact with the young people. They come on board and come to say we need to be part of this system, because at least it is helping us to understand where we will go and where we need to go.
Okay, and now I'm going to take you back to mining. Mainly the opposition parties are saying that it is better that these mining licenses or these mines are owned by Zambians. Would you agree with that?
That is 100% 40, because if we are going to left our mining sector vulnerable, it means that we failed to raise resources to build this country. At this moment, Zambia is losing about $3 billion in terms of tax liberties, which we are giving to the foreigners who are our investors, the ones we are calling our investors. It means that they are getting more of what we are also supposed to get, So when you look at the mining sector, the mining policies, we need to revisit the Mining Act and make sure that we come up with laws that will also benefit this country. For us, RDC, what do we believe in if it was us who were on the driving seat? As RDC, we could have nationalized the gold, the sugilite, as the number one minerals to raise resources for this country. We could have made it to be a country's main resource. not just giving it out that people should mine it and then they go and sell out there without us getting the benefits. And then the second part is we were supposed to, it's supposed to be a win-win situation to both parties, whether the investors and who are partnering with us in this country. We were supposed to make it 50-50, where it should never be taking everything being exported without harnessing it. Even here, if you look at the copper that we are mining, we are a giant in copper production, but you find that not even copper cables might be produced here. We are importing. We're still importing copper cables from outside while we have got that copper as a country. So what are we saying? We are giving out employment outside there. We need to revisit the Mining Act, where we should also put laws that will make sure that we harness our minerals to the benefit of the Zambian people, and then we make sure that the minerals should also contribute in creating employment. If you
sorry to cut you off short there. So within the term of employment creation when it comes to minerals, now let's go back to mineral royalties, which are payments made to the owner of the mineral rights, such as private landowner, now which also trickles down to royalty payments. So the company pays a percentage of the value of the minerals extracted to the mineral rights owner or the government. Now, the government might get this money. They are saying that the money that is coming from these mines that have been reopened and investors coming in, some of the money is being channeled to something like CDF, and there people are benefiting. But you did say that there is no one benefiting from the investors coming to invest in Zambia.
Yes, 40. Why we are saying that they are not benefiting enough is because the highest percentages of the profits that are coming from our minerals are going out. When you look at how we can utilize our minerals in terms of copper. You know, copper produces copper bullets, but we are not seeing that being done in this country. It means that the copper, the same copper, it's going out there in other countries, creating employment into industrialization, such as bullet production, and just like I stated earlier on, cable production for electrical issues. So these are the things that we are talking about, that if it was us as RDC, we would look into these areas where we don't allow all our minerals just being exported in a raw material form. We need also to harness it to make sure that we also revamp our industrialization in this production. If we can bring the technology of producing copper into bullets, it means that we can even have more of the resources to export outside and earn more foreign income. So what are we saying that our minerals are not benefiting our country? It's because we have only depended to collect just little taxes from our minerals, while our minerals can create value addition, which can help even the country in terms of creating employment for our young people.
Once again, do remember that this is Voice of the People. You can call us up, send us your messages. That's on 0955 997 997 or on 0961 690 487 or 0979 192 485. And in case you've just tuned in studio today, we do have a political leader who is shaping the conversation around opposition unity and grassroots development. He is Mr. Robert Chansa, who is the president of the Revamp for Development Change Party, RDC, and also the chairperson of the United Kwacha Alliance, also known as UKA. We're touching on a number of issues such as the state of UKA, RDC, the impact of his leadership, inclusivity in politics, and his plans for Mandevu constituency. And now going back to UKA, we have seen over the last couple of years that, yes, alliances will start up, but then they'd collapse.
Yeah.
What exactly is UKA doing, or what guarantees do you have that UKA won't fall by the time we get to 2026?
Thank you very much. This is what we are doing as the young people who have taken over to sensitize each and every leader that comes on board to understand that it is not that everyone will be will be the president at the same time, but we need to understand our timing. We need to understand our time that we are called on. If you look at me, why is it I've also chosen to aspire for Mandevu constituency as a member of parliament? Number one, I wanted to take a lead in leading as an example to my fellow opposition leaders out there that we cannot be presidents at the same time. Others can even choose to aspire for as member of parliament, even mayoral. You can contribute from those positions to make sure that this country develop. But the greatest weakness that we have as opposition, we all want it by all cost. We all want to be a president. We all want to be president, even when our timing, it's not even guaranteeing us that you can become a president, you see. So this is the weakness that is with us as opposition leaders, and this is why you have seen that we, the opposition, it's more like we are not giving the direction to the Zambian people who have been looking forward for such a unity from the opposition, because we are too selfish and too great, and everyone just feels to be a president even when the time is not allowing. But this is not what it is right now in UKA. As we are growing in leadership, we get to sensitize each other that we need to understand that we cannot be leaders at the same time. We can share how we can all participate to make sure that we are partners in developing this country. Unlike all of us just seeking for the presidency, which only has to go with one person, you get. But in as much as that person can be there, we can all choose to rally behind him, and then we work together as a team. It doesn't mean that if you're not a president, you cannot contribute to in developing this country. You can bring the wisdom that you have on board while you're working with such a colleague whom you have entrusted to be on top as the flag bearer.
Some sections of society might argue that UKA currently has no clear agenda beyond opposing what the UPND are doing. What's your concrete alternative?
Yes, some people can say that, but it's because of the current, the former leaders who were reading UKA. But this time I'm telling you that UKA will emerge strong, and UKA will be the voice of the Zambian people, not where it will be there to intergo with the government in place, but to make sure that we offer good checks and balances to the government, to make sure that we get our leaders to work and do what is right. The problem that has been there is we always think as if when you are in the opposition, you are an enemy to those that are in ruling. No, we are partners and stakeholders to make sure that we should develop this country. So what UKA will bring now, it is civility, dignity in politics, and to make sure that our colleagues, they should also adhere to the promises that they promised to the Zambian people. The problem that we have been having is these fightings. You know, these fightings in politics, insults, where we always want to personalize issues instead of focusing on national development, instead of focusing on national issues that are affecting the people, such as high cost of living, and how can we get to reduce the high cost of living, how can we get to reduce the minimum prices. These are the things that we should be fighting on, unlike personalizing and insulting each other, the politics that we have been having from way back. So we are looking forward to come and change this country, to bring civility in politics, and to show the people that politics, it's not about entangling each other or fighting, but it is about having different ideologies which can benefit this country.
And so now, looking at UKA right now, even just let's say the opposition in general in Zambia, do you think they have a fighting chance come next year, 2026?
Yes, we still have a good time, because the Zambian people, they still have trust that if opposition can come together, they will rally behind one person who can help them to be to get them out of the sufferings that they've been subjected to. And it is high time that also opposition should put their selfish interests aside and hit to the Zambian people's core that we need to come as a team, and we need to form a team that will either work for the best interest of the Zambian people. Why is it that the Zambian people are calling for a unified opposition? It is because they have seen that this time you cannot trust a person to be ushered in government. It is better that different people of different wisdoms, they come together, they form as a team, so that one maybe who is on top leading might not have the knowledge to develop this country, but those that are around him might have the knowledge and might be assisting that person. We are seeing this from the failed leadership of the UPND, where the Zambian people have been neglected in many of the promises that were made. So this is why the people of Zambia have decided that we won't go with a single party, we won't go with a single person, we want these different wisdoms, minds to come together and come as a team. Then you work for the nation, because they believe that if people can unite and come together, there will be different wisdom from different people, and people who contribute for the best interest of the nation. If one person is just there to embezzle or abrogate the law, there are others who are going to recollect that person to tell him that this is not the right way and this is not how we should serve this country. So this is why the Zambian people, they want a unified opposition.
So, but would you say that currently the opposition right now, as they are, the state that they are right now, can they truly win the elections? Do you think they have a fighting chance? Because Mr. Max Moe said UPND is worried that the opposition is not strong enough.
You know, we have always had such statements, even from the past regime, which was the PF. Mm-hmm. The PF also used to talk about the same thing, that there is no opposition. But one thing that we should know is that the opposition, they are the Zambian people, because they are the voters. It's not a political party only that votes, but it is the whole country which consists the Zambian people's voice. So how do they come in? It is when they will now look at what were promised to them. If those promises have been delivered, if the cost of living is affordable for a common woman and common man out there in the community, for a youth out there in the community, and if the major promises that which were promised are delivered to the expectation of the Zambian people, then one can say that there is no opposition. But where you have failed to deliver to the expectation of the Zambian people, I don't think that tally to say there is no opposition. It's not about there must be an opposition. It is about what have you done for the country? What have you done in terms of developing the lives of the people of Zambia? If we talk about the cost of living now, it is so high that a common person out there is failing to survive. You know, when before the 2021, the UPND came in power, the cost of living for a family of 5, it was 6,000. Now the cost of living for a family of 5, it's 11,000. How much are we getting as a salary? Are we getting that 11,000 to manage ourselves in a month? For a family of 5. When we look at the fuel, that which they had found at 17 kwacha, it was doubled, I think twice, to 30 kwacha, somewhere there. You get it. And then when you look at the millimil also, that which they had found at 115, 105. This time we are getting the millimil at 250. It is just that it has recently dropped. The millimil was fetching even up to 400 kwacha. So these are the things that will make the UPND to be checked around. Have they done what they were saying to the people of Zambia? Have they delivered to the people of Zambia? And then do they deserve to be given a second chance? So it is the Zambian people who decide at the end of the day, not the opposition, but the Zambian people who decide, because the Zambian people cannot continue ushering leaders who have failed them. They would rather change leaders and bring in people who are going to hear them, people who are going to make sure that they deliver to the expectation of the promises they are given. When you look at the meal issue, if we get to discuss a little bit, when the UPND came in power, 2020 to 2021 farming season, the UPND there was a bumper harvest of about 7%. We had a bumper harvest from, I think, 3,269,000 metric tons there to 3,469,000, about 7% of the bumper harvest. When they came in power, they had found that bumper harvest because the PF, by then in 2020, they had made sure that they had delivered the inputs in time. They had delivered farming inputs in time, fertilizer and seed to the small-scale farmers who are feeding this country. And then we had the inputs in time. This is what had prompted now the farmers to give us a good harvest, a bumper harvest. Now, what happened when they came into power in 2021? They came and sowed the maize that they had found in the reserves, which they had exported. Number one, that was the greatest mistake which they did, because at that time they did not have an experience how the government is run. They sowed that maize, and the second mistake that they did, it was to cancel all tenders to the people who were supplying agrochemicals to the government, inputs to the government. They cancelled those tenders on perceivement that they are PF, on perceivement that they are political affiliated. Now, you don't run a country in that manner. If they came and had found out that there was something that was happening, they could have just sat down with those people, because those people had the experience to supply to the government. This is why you see that in 2021 to 2022 farming season, we had provided the inputs to the farmers very late, because the people who were given tenders they did not have connections. They did not understand how they should bring in the fertilizer. That it was a mess, and then the toppest mess, it was that we had sowed our maize. So this is the shortage that had come, because they have been saying that the climate change had only affected us for 2024 to 2025 farming season, in which up to now we haven't even mopped up the all maize that which we can say that we depend on the farming season for 2024 and 2025. It was just the mistakes of the UPND, how they were running the country, which had prompted now the country to have a shortage in terms of maize, in terms of the staple food. Now, after selling our maize, they started running around now to go and import maize at an exorbitant price, at an expensive price. This is poor leadership. You don't run a country like that. You know, you need to give yourself time when you come into office and understand how things are run and how a country is run.
Do know that the phone lines are open. The numbers are 0955-997-997 or 0961-690-487 or 0979-192-485. We are joined in the studio by Mr. Robert Chansa, who is a Zambian politician and community leader currently serving as president of the Restoration and Development Congress, known as RDC, and who serves as chairperson of the United Kwacha Alliance, UKA, a coalition of opposition parties. So you can be part of the conversation. You can go through to our social media platforms, which is Power FM Zambia, and also leave your comment there as we are currently live. Now, when we talk about cost of living, and you also did touch on load shedding as well. Yes, so as UKA or as RDC, what solutions or what checks and balances would you offer to the current government on how things can be sorted out?
Thank you very much. The short terms that we are supposed to, if it was us as RDC party in government, by this time we could have channeled now to Lake Bangweulu, Lake Tanganyika. There we also try to put up hydropower generation plants, in which you know that Zambia we have only depended in Kariba. And while we have got also other waters from other side of this country, as RDC, we could have taken advantage immediately if it was us to come into power in 2021, because this crisis, it was there before even the UPND, though it was sent west like the way it is. The PF at least managed it because they had made sure that they pump in resources in hydro power generation to grow the industry. Now, us as RDC, we could have shift attention from Kaliba and go Lake Bangweulu, Lake Mwelu there. We also identify how can we come up with hydroelectric power system while we are even supporting this green energy that which has come in terms of making sure that we grow the solar power generation electricity. And also in this country we are a blessed country in terms of coal. You know, other countries, they are using coal to produce electricity, and we have, even Mamba Couriers uses that coal. We could have even utilized the resource that we have to make sure that we revamp the production of electricity to make sure that in just 2 years, it should be a thing of the past. But with the UPND, it's different because they have even made it that we should get used to it, to live with it, which is not normal, because this is not something that we can say that it is affecting us really from the climate change, because now we were favored by God. You know how God works? We were favored with good lands, but it's just because of poor leadership, that which is not taking advantage to make sure that it pumps resources to electricity generation, electricity generation for this country. So if it was RDC, we could have made sure that we could have prioritized the energy sector to make sure that we raise resources and pump in a lot. As much as we are doing the short-term measures, at the same time, we need to do long-term measures, which I just stated, like shifting attention to go to Lake Bangweulu, Lake Mwelu. There we have got plenty of waters in the northern province, which we can take advantage to help this country.
Once again, this is Voice of the People. Do remember that in case you are struggling to call us up because of network, you can still send us your messages. That is either on 0961 690 487 or on 0979 192 485. And you can send us your messages, as we've got, I would say, quite an interesting conversation going on at the moment. And if you're somebody who's part of Mandevu constituency, this is your time to also ask us questions, as we do have in studio with us Mr. Robert Chansa, who at the moment has got plans for Mandevu constituency and has been doing actually some work within that particular area. So now we know that Mandevu is one of the most populous constituencies in Lusaka. We do have a caller.
Okay, I think we lost the call. You can call us back. The numbers are 0961 690 487 or 0979 192 485 or 0955 997 997. You can continue, Shekinah.
Okay, so going back to how Mandevu is known as being one of the most populous constituencies in Lusaka, yet unfortunately over time we still keep seeing that it faces so many problems like unemployment, poor sanitation, housing shortages, and so much more. Now, Mr. Robert, what exactly are your plans or your development agenda for Mandevu?
Thank you very much, Shekinah, for such a good question. You know, Mandevu, as we know, it is the largest constituency that has got about 161,609 voters. And then the highest percentage of that, they are women, in about 52%. Which the women, they are standing about 806 409 there, registered voters. What are the plans for me if I am elected as a Mandevu constituents Member of Parliament? My plan, number one, is from 2026 to 2027. I want to make sure that I strive very hard to build a youth resource training center, that which should make sure that it trains the youth into skills such as driving, solar installation trainings, and water pump installations, and also more like welding trainings, and we talk about also mechanics. Why am I going to strive hard to bring such a youth resource training centers? We understand that the youths there in Mandevu, there are a lot, and a lot of them, they are into abusing themselves into alcohol and drugs because they don't have what to do in Mandevu. So if we can strive very hard and bring that youth resource training center for them in Mandevu constituents, it means that we are going to drag a lot of youths who are currently having no employment, who are currently having nothing on table to assist them to survive in life. They will come and end these short skills, that which we are going to produce. For example, 40, if the solar installation power, it doesn't even need for one to take 2 years, 3 years, and even have more of the education, you know. It's something that you can train as a skill to someone, then you help them. They start going around there having tenders to fix solar where they need, even here, like if we need to put solar, we can even get youths from Mandevu. So these are the things that I want to focus in when I come. Immediately I'm elected as Member of Parliament, I'll make sure that I strive to build the Youth Resource Training Center under my National Assembly constituents office. I need to build that so that I bring more of the young people, the women on board, and support them in these skills. Also, those that have got talent, who identify how in their talents, and we support them in their talents, for we understand that talents is also helping people out there to earn a living. So we'll make sure that under these youth resource training centers, we tackle these problems. The second project that I have for Mandevu constituents, it's water crisis. We are having problems in terms of water. My plan is to make sure that when I'm elected as a Member of Parliament for Mandevu, I should I should strive very hard to put 10 boreholes, 10 free boreholes in all the wards. We know documentary, we have got 7 wards, but this time we have got 8 wards in Mandevu. So I'll strive very hard to make sure that we put up 10 boreholes in each ward, to make sure that our people in the communities, they have got access to free water. And we also incorporate with the water, our water company, the water company, to make sure that we also build up and renovate where we're having problems of pipes and all these sort of issues. We put our minds together to make sure that we provide clean water and good water for our people in Mandevu. We don't want to see a situation which we have been having, a mother there in Ngombe, a mother there in Maziopa, they are still suffering. 60 years of independence, you know, they are still crying the issues of water. So I'll make sure that the water issue comes to an end. From 2026 to 2028, earliest 2028, this water problem should end. And then what are other plans that I'm planning for Mandevu constituents? The other plans is to make sure that we bring sanity in terms of sanitation. As Mandevu Member of Parliament, we will make sure that we strive hard to make sure that each and every ward should have 10 trucks which should help the community in terms of collecting the garbages at a normal, reasonable charge, so that we should make sure that our constituents, we keep it clean, we avoid getting these outbreaks of diseases that we normally have because of not having good sanitation in my constituents. So I'll strive very hard to make sure that this is done. And then I think the fourth plan that I have for Mandevu constituents, we know that Mandevu has...
Sorry to cut you off short. We do have a caller on the line. Hello, it's you to the Power Breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning, madam. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. My name is Mr. Nathan Manchis. I'm calling you from Soma, Southern Province.
Your name is who? What's your name, sorry?
My name is Mr. Nathan Manchis.
Okay, Mr. Nason, go ahead with your contribution.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, I'm calling you direct from Choma, Southern Province.
Oh, okay. Go ahead with your comment or question.
Yes. I have a question and a comment at the same time. I want to greet first President Robert Chansa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chair. How are you? And how is Southern Province?
I'm following your radio. I'm following your program, sir.
Thank you very much, Chair. We appreciate so much.
Then I just have a question there. You want to contest as a MP in Mandevu?
Yes.
Or maybe I'm just mistaken?
No, you are right. You're right.
Okay. So now my question is, are you going to contest with two positions in 2026, MP and a presidential candidate? Or maybe you have withdrawn one position of president, then you are contesting as MP, so that I want to get a clear picture there.
Okay.
Then at the same time, I want to ask you another question, the issue of Mandevu. Because Mandevu, the population is too high. Now, looking at the CDF, which is being given to all constituencies, then Mandevu is big. Are you just going to concentrate on CDF money, or you have another plan to lobby from other well-wishers to help you to develop Mandevu? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming through. Maybe before you turn to that question, we do have a text right now. So it is coming from Mrs. Ngolube, who's saying, good morning, good and progressive discussion. What plans do you have on civil servants under NAPSA? Because as it stands, I don't see it to be fair for someone to work in government and be subjected to not getting a lump sum. Leaders get gratuity. Why should it be different to the people they lead? And we also have another text here, is that problem with politicians, Murina Sweet Talk. So, which also brings me to my next question. With whatever that you have said and all the projects that you have underlined for Mandevu constituency, how sure are you that you're going to deliver them? Because this is not the first time, I'm sure, somebody contesting for MP is saying the same thing about the same challenges about how the youths need to have skill hubs and how it can be progressive as a big constituency.
Thank you very much, Forty. Before we attend to the questions of our callers, we appreciate for them coming in and make their contribution. So how am I going to make sure that these promises, they are actualized? 40, I will tell you that the problem that we had been having in Mandevu, we had been having leaders, those that are not coming from the young leadership age, the young people, who to understand the problems that young people are going through and to understand on the ground really what is going through. We have been having leaders who have been there before long enough in politics, but who do not have the experiences that we, the young people, are facing, and who do not even understand where we need to do what we need to do, and what a youth needs or a young woman needs there in that constituency. For me, how am I going to achieve? It is because I'm one of the the young people who have gone through problems, and I'm one of the young people, the majority that have got no employment. You know, you and me will agree that at this late that we've grown, it is a difficult time, that which you almost maybe you are going to school, at the same time you're striving also to raise resources to support yourselves. Those skills that we have earned, the experience that we have earned, it has taught us and given us the knowledge on how to combat the problems that we are having. The other advantage is that we have faced to the problems that our colleagues are facing. So we know rightly when we get into those offices, we know what we need to do, because we are part of the people who have suffered. We are part of the people who have been enduring the problems that the Mandevu constituency has. Now, coming to the question from Mr. Nelson, the chairman for Southern Province. I know him from somewhere. Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson. That's a good question. The presidential ambition. Yes, the presidential ambition, I've dropped it down for now to make sure that I support also the other person that needs to be supported. Looking at the space that I have, I still have a big chance to run to the presidency. I still have more time and years to run to this presidency, but Zambia needs a leader to come in now and sort out the problems which the people of Zambia are going through. And that is a spirit, that's the spirit that we should have as opposition leaders, to choose to come together as a team and rally behind one person. We are into an alliance, that which we are trying to formalize, and then if we formalize that alliance, we'll announce the person that will rally behind on to support him, to make sure that when he comes, we form government, we come and do what is right for the Zambian people. So we need to reach at this state where we should put our selfish interest and put the interest of the people of Zambia who are suffering, who are going through problems. This is why I turned out my presidential ambition, and then I led by example to tell my opposition leaders that even seeking for parliamentary seat, you can contribute, and you can best contribute because you start contributing locally before you even come to contribute on the national level. So I took a lead to make sure that I lead by example to my fellow opposition political parties, that they should also make a decision so that at the end of the day we finalize coming to rally behind one person. And then there was a text from our civil service person, right? Yeah, it's it's very true. When you look at what the civil service people are given, these are peanuts. We launched that first money which is being given to the civil service from NAPSA, which is not even helping them because they can't even establish a business. They can't even maybe even get to more have acre farm and start doing farming businesses. So it is a genuine call and a wake-up call for the new Dawn government that are there, that we need to look into the pride of our civil service people, because they are doing a great job for this nation. And then we also have to reach a stage where we should be giving them gratuity, where they should strive to grow in terms of businesses. It's not that a person, if she's in employment or he is in employment, he can't even endeavor to get into businesses. This is how we grow the economy. If we can support this sector to make sure that we give them a lump sum of money, a lump sum of capital, which they can invest even in farming, in businesses, we'll see the economy growing, we'll see this country growing in different sectors.
Okay, this is Voice of the People. Do remember that even as we get to wrap up, that still this comes every single weekday, and that is from 8:45 or rather 7:45 all the way through into the hour of 8. And still though now, as we get to say bye to our listeners and also to those who are listening to this particular segment, what are your final words for the people, the constituents of Mandevu, but also to the nation?
Thank you very much, Shekinah. I think my advice now to the people of Mandevu constituency is that it's high time that we bring new leadership in place, which is a young, energetic leadership. That leadership, that which will be there for the people of Zambia and for the people of Mandevu, and that leadership, that which will be on the ground to see the problems that our people are facing, especially that Mandevu constituency having the largest voters of women, but we see women have lacked to be empowered in terms of empowerments in businesses. We have not yet seen a lot, but my plan is to make sure that as I will be ending my first term, if I'm elected as a member of parliament, I plan to make sure that 60,000 women should be boosted in businesses, in different businesses which can help them to strive to survive in their lives. We know that there are about 80,000, but we will strive very hard to make sure that 60,000 of the voters of the women, they are empowered with capitals which they will establish strong businesses, either even into farming, either even into different sectors of businesses. Then on the national level, I think it's high time that we, the Zambian people, we should do what is right to make sure that we make a good decision in 2026, a better decision which should help this country. We cannot continue at the trajectory of these sufferings that we have continued in, because I'm telling you, it won't be good for this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us once again this morning.
I appreciate for this opportunity that I've been granted, Forty and Shekinah. Looking forward to be present again. Thank you.
Thank you very much once more. Well, we have been joined in the studio by Mr. Robert Chansa, who is a Zambian politician and community leader, currently serving as president for RDC and as chairperson of United Kwacha Alliance. This has been the Power Breakfast. Do join us as we continue with the Power Breakfast.
Voice of the People is a dynamic and interactive radio phoning show that gives listeners a platform to voice their opinions on current affairs, social issues, and community concerns. With engaging discussions, expert insights, real-time audience participation. Voice of the People.